Hello, this video is for all men out there. I have been getting a lot of messages again on Facebook, and it is very interesting to study that as a hobby psychologist and to see these different comments and messages and the different names from all around the globe. And I noticed that the people from India are much more well behaved. I really have to say that. So the men from India, they are and also Asian men and Indian men. They are much more polite. They are much more civilized in their approach when they write to a woman they like, and they don't go down to the nitty-gritty right away. They send something cute, and they don't send red roses, but like photos of red roses. The people from the Middle East, they tend to do this, and particularly oil sheiks and princes from Saudi Arabia. That is their number one thing. They send a bouquet of red roses. It's always very pretty. Sometimes they have a sugar coating on it, like like they were dipped in white sugar. And I always thank them. I'm always very nice, because I always wanna basically help everyone. I want to educate everyone. I want to talk to everyone. And it's also interesting for me. Until they become verbally abusive or violent, then I have to cut it off. But or if they become too demanding, you know what I mean. Then so I met a feminist lady on Facebook. She says when they send her a skin, she sends them skin back, but not in the way they wanted. She sends them skin diseases photos. And they go, what the fuck? She said, you send me skin, I sent you skin back. So, yeah, this is one way of approaching it. But that's kind of like, I know, I understand her 100%. But my approach is I want to educate people. And I've gotten mad at them too. I've sometimes lost my marbles on them too. It happens. But I don't want that to happen anymore. I want to stay calm and composed, and I want to educate them on the basics, like what is love? Because they go, I love you. Yeah. Okay, you know nothing about me at all. Okay, and if you did, you wouldn't love me anymore. I guarantee you. So, but anyway, oh gosh, because people don't love the truth. Okay? I am the garlic of truth. So, and that sizzles, like I said in my other video. That always sizzles, but it sizzles in a good way. So, but anyway, it's just sizzles way too much for those people there, because those brains, that particularly the ones from the Middle East, and it's not funny, it's we should not laugh about these people. We should not. No one should ridicule them, because I want to tell you something. I mean, that's a response that a lot of Westerners do. They use sarcasm. Oh, oh, really? Oh, go on. um, Papa Dog, he chased the cat away because the cat, Papa Dog's guarding the birds out there now, because the cat has caught a couple of animals in the garden. I'm talking to my tablet, Mr. Orange Tablet. Okay. And so that's very good. Papa Dog's doing this because it's not fun to for the I. So that's why my husband wants to bring them to the shelter or bring them to a different place. They really need to be spayed and neutered. This is very important. So, but I think I'm afraid the dog pound is just gonna euthanize them. So, and they want to live, and I feel sorry for them. I don't know what to do. Sometimes there's always some kind of situation that is a major challenge where our morals and ethics and our worldview is coming to some kind of fork road. And that happens quite a lot. That happens with me a lot of times in all kinds of areas and all kinds of subjects. So, but so for now, I just want to stick to this one subject. I could always shoot off into many different directions from there because it's all interlinked. But it's very interesting to see how men approach women, and the men from India are very well articulated, they are polite, they're respectful, they are also interested in what the woman and what's in her brain and in her artistic skills, and they are also interested in my art, for example, and not just what's under my clothes. And photos, 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 photo, you photo. I'm not even going to respond. When someone says you photo, or when someone you photo send me, no, sorry, this is no. So, but when someone says I really like your artwork, then I'm going to spend more time talking to them. I'm not going to date them. I'm not going to be starting a relationship, because I don't start a relationship with any of them. I mean, I have one guy who I like, but the other ones, it's just for friends, and just to educate people and to teach true love, basically. And so and so the men from the Middle East, they are the most vulgar, the most aggressive, the most hostile. And this is a fact, okay? And if they don't like to hear this, then I'm sorry, but look in the mirror, Look at it. Look at what it is. Read your own interactions again. Read how you respond. I had, like, I made videos before about this, where I had moments where I wasn't feeling good, and where I kind of got really mad at them, the guy wanting something, and always with the false picture. They usually take pictures of some public figure, and then I've seen it all. One guy took a photo of Barack Obama and acted like that's him, a guy from Africa. And it's like, oh, this is Barack Obama, the back then when he was president. That's our president, and so you are basically saying you're Barack Obama. It's just amazing. I mean, it's just the kind of stuff I have seen, or they will take a photo of Justin Bieber, and and these people are so super known. to for someone to take a photo like this and act like that's their own photo. Some people are more conscious about it, but they still take someone else's photo, and I go and maybe someone who's not that famous, but I see a really, really, really handsome looking man, and with the name Darjesh Kumar, but like someone who does not resemble that name, and it's so sad, you know. And I ask them, I say, why do you do this? Why do you not show your own photo? What is this? So then they finally show me their own photo, and of course they look nothing like this guy that they used, and they look like they would never be hired be hired in Hollywood. I don't want to, you know, it's so hard to talk about this because I don't want to make it sound like I'm not laughing about them, you know. So it's quite the opposite. I feel terrible for these people. I feel absolutely terrible that I feel it's also not only the physique, the outside looks, it's also the way they actually feel about themselves, because someone who feels good about himself, you know, with could be a dorky look or something. Anyone with that, I have a dorky look too, you know. I don't feel that great about myself. But at least I can laugh about myself. That's also, this is a huge, huge liberating benefit. But most people can't even do that. They cannot laugh about themselves. They take themselves extremely seriously. They look extremely dorky or, yeah, no, not attractive. And they also feel not attractive, and when they feel really when they feel embarrassed about themselves and they want to hide behind a facade, then they just it just it's so painful, and they don't come across at all as someone, first of all, towards a woman, you know, they don't come across as trustworthy. Any man who uses someone else's photo can automatically not be trusted. I mean, maybe they could. This one guy looks like he's kind of sweet and innocent. This one guy from India, like 20 years old or something. But looks like he's studying at the university. So maybe I could trust that person in terms of, you know, going to have a have a drink somewhere or go eat a cake together, you know, be friends in that way. And very sweet, and I feel sorry for him. You know, probably very lonely, but feels terrible about himself and uses someone else's photo, and then what is he then does he expect then that that woman is going to like him? That woman is going to go for him, and I mean, maybe someone who doesn't see through these things as I do. I see this right away. When I see this real handsome looking guy photo, is probably not, that guy's probably most likely not gonna approach me on Facebook like, hey, you're real sexy. That guy would never ever ever say that to me. Yes, So I already know right away because of that. Because that guy is, if he even approaches a woman at all, that guy looks like really full of himself. I mean, that photo of that photo model, whatever, that photo model guy. He's probably real full of himself, and he would not even approach a woman. He's so full of himself that he doesn't even need to approach a woman. You know, he has them all lined up already. His king just saying, "Come here, next one." So, and then let me take turns here. Let me create my harem or whatever. But and I've seen I've seen these really like good looking in a Hollywood sense. It's not always my taste, but I mean in a Hollywood sense, the marketed faces. Those people, I notice when I see them interact or when I see photos of them in magazines or in interviews, they're so full of themselves. It's like this is the other extreme from those meek, dorky guys from India, Darjesh Kumar, uh, Shrema Rema, whatever. I am not making fun of them. It's just a situation comedy. That's all it is. And I want these people to learn to laugh about themselves. Like Borat, for example. You know this guy Borat? He's a filmmaker, and he is very, very funny, and he's very liberated. He does a couple of pranks. I'm not so into pranks and stuff, but he shows people the mirror, and I understand why. And this guy can really laugh about himself. And it makes him immediately like trustworthy and interesting and attractive. Yes, it does. So yeah, I find that guy very interesting, and I find that guy attractive, and I find that guy entertaining, and it would be fun for me to go have a hot chocolate together somewhere in a coffee shop and talk about things. And so if I get into philosophy with someone, it it doesn't have to be my type even. I get into philosophy, I see that person is really getting deep into it and has some insights to share. I could warm up to that guy. I could really warm up and maybe even fall in love eventually. It's much more important for me. It sounds, of course, very cliche, and it is just an idea, it's a concept, and it has never been really understood. It has just been regurgitated. It matters what's inside, not outside, right? Yeah, but obviously that that that's just a concept. That has not been understood as a real truth by most people. For me is personally, if I date a guy who's really hot like that guy that kid used, that photo model, if I dated someone like this, which would never happen in the first place, but if I did somehow, I would feel alienated the whole time. Because unless he gets deep into philosophy, if he gets really deep into philosophy, and if he starts to reveal his own nitty gritty to me, and starts to open up and starts to see me for who I am, not some kind of, not as this usable or not usable package, outside package, usable for something. If he sees me as the living being that I am, well, then I could warm up to him. then I would his whole facial expression would change if he did that. He wouldn't have this fake facial expression anymore. Jim Carrey is, I mean, Jim Carrey, for example, has never been a fake guy. He's always been a very genuine guy. And now recently he has undergone some very dramatic transformations. And I'm very happy for him. So yeah, he's a very interesting man. I would love to go to a coffee shop with him. Dating? No. I don't want to date any of them. Who do I want to date? Matt Damon? Yes, of course. Yes. Bring it on. Let's go and have some fun in all kinds of positions like like that comedian girl was talking about. So what's her name? Sarah, I think. So yeah, I share that same taste, definitely. Matt Damon, that is my type. That guy's also serious, and he's also goes deeper into thinking and vision and overall interests in things and caring and all of this. It's a full package, that guy. So, but I'm not that picky, particularly not when it comes to talking to people, making friends. Why be so incredibly shy always about or embarrassed about how you look? Be who you are. If you are a dorky kind of guy, be that dorky kind of guy. Don't use someone else's photo, or don't use Vin Diesel's photo, or whatever these people are. I don't know that guy's name, that photo model, or whatever people use. The picture of Barack Obama. Why not be yourself, And no, and Barack Obama is not my type, okay? He's also homosexual, 100%. And I'm not into homosexuals. No, I'm sorry. I don't like. I like it when a man has a soft side, okay, but not a girly, not girly. There's a difference between butt wiggling, girly. I mean, Barack Obama had that very much under control. All of these body movements and all of this. He's really only shown the masculine side of it. And a politician. We have the year 2017. People would never vote for a gay man or a gay woman. It's a pity. And that's why these people have to act straight, even though they're not. And it's a pity, instead of being who they are. I want Barack Obama to be who he really is, and enjoy who he really is. If he's gay or bisexual, then be that. Enjoy that and stand up for it. Stand up for gay rights. And do it with your own example. And not hide it. But there would be no chance for them. There would be no way they could climb up that political ladder if they declared that publicly. Because of the stupid dumb masses. And how do we educate the dumb masses if we don't start somewhere? That's kind of like me going to an art gallerist and saying, I want my art to be publicized. Are you known? No, then we can't publicize. So, like chicken and egg type of situation. For me, in order to get known, I would have to first find a courageous gallerist to show my art. Then it could become known. Yeah, makes sense. If no one shows it, will never be known. Okay. Until much later, post mortem, maybe 1,000 years later or so. But I wanted that. I want that to be known now, if that makes some sense. But the same thing with gay rights. If people are gay in politics and they don't stand up for it and don't have, but I'm not blaming him. I know that the situation, if he wants to climb up that ladder, he is gonna have to package himself to fit the the political correctness of the public's demand. Unfortunately, there's a big insect up there. A big insect. I might have to transport that insect outside. So it is a nice insect. But anyway, yeah, probably reincarnated. Need to experience what it's like as an insect. So yeah, this is all very politically incorrect. But yeah, I see all of this, and I also see different articles, and I see all kinds of things in between the lines, and I see different photos, facial expressions, body movements. I see all of this, and it shapes itself into a very crystal clear message and pictures. And I want other people to try to do the same thing, because that can save our lives, to see more, to understand more, not to be so gullible. And also look behind all of this. Look at the whole big picture of it. Look at what is this, how's the future going to be like? Is the future going to be like exactly like it is now? Or is it going to be dragging itself forward, as Friedrich Nietzsche called it, with a hem shoe, which is kind of like a putting the brakes on as you're moving forward. And that's what's happening when people don't use their own lives as an example. That's what I'm trying to do. I am a straight woman who does not adapt to society, sort of Aspie. And that's who I am. I'm an artist, I'm a philosopher, I'm a writer, and I talk about my life. I share that with others. I encourage others who are like this to feel good about it and to make something out of it and to unfold it and not be hiding somewhere or putting a burqa on or chador or hijab or Christian cross or cowboy boots and a mini skirt or whatever, this adaptation, constant adapting to their social circumstances. That's what we want to dissolve. You want to dissolve these stereotypes, these archetypes, these social roles that are attributed to the different persons. I have talked to Republicans who cannot understand that a real straight woman with a lot of female hormones can actually be that intellectually sharp. The two do not go together in their brains. And that's why I think it is, and it's very irritating for me as a feminist, But, and I so much understand all of my feminist friends out there on Facebook, that they get very, very frustrated a lot. And I've already talked to them about this. They've all experienced the same things. So that's why I make these videos and write blogs, because I find that so incredibly important that people start thinking about these things and start to introspect and look at themselves and see what they're doing and see how all of this is totally counterproductive, you know. For men who want to date a woman, they need to first of all know what is a complete no, i- as a form of approach. You know. It's a complete no to put someone else's photo on their profile. That's a complete no. It's just like, it's wrong on all levels. A woman will not trust you if you do this. You know, you have to use your own photo, and don't try so hard when you make a photo. Just play around with it. Use good light, you know. Have fun with it. Enjoy doing selfies. And and learn to love yourselves, whoever you are, women and men. Love yourselves the way you are. Whatever you have, however you look like, you know. Let your hair grow when you're a young man, you know. You have beautiful, shiny black hair, let it grow. And treat your bodies well, you know. Start with health. Become whole food vegan. Look good. Do some exercising. Have fun while you do it. It's very important. Enjoy your lives. Focus your attention more on altruism, giving. I find men way more attractive who focus on me instead of themselves. Like that photo model, for example, would never even make me a compliment. Not just because never be their type, but they would probably not even compliment a woman of their choice, like a skinny blonde um, Playboy bunny. You know, they would not even compliment her. They'd be so into themselves, they would totally forget to compliment her, and that's a complete turn off for me. When a man brags or is totally into himself, totally self-absorbed, which is, of course, it's this by itself is a psychological defense mechanism because of their own past, okay? Because of their own very bleak past. When there was no nourishment, when there was no love, then that is one of the leading defense mechanisms that people use, you know, is this: they go into a narcissistic kind of state. And in that state, which is full of self-images, they cannot love someone else. Like, there is no connection to someone else, you know. So even if a really old or ugly man is really into me, I find that I warm up to that, you know, because yeah, that's like he sees me, you know. That's like, yeah, he finds me cute, and that's a very much, that is very heart, brain, and body warming, you know. And so that's what you want to do. If you really like someone, then show that to that woman. Show her how much you like her. But be careful, don't become too vulgar, because when you become too vulgar, then then that chases them away, that chases us away, it chases me away. Because then the message is that you're not interested in anything internal that 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 looks like you're stupid, and uneducated. And women, they feel more comfortable with a man who is clean, educated, decent, humble, respectful, and yet very much into you. So that's what men should do. They should be very giving. They should have their attention towards the woman, not just in a sexual way, that of course too, but also in a caring way. I care about you, you care about your skin. I want you to be safe. That's love. So you guys take care.